this is Mr. Elmhorst. We're going to take a look at the integers practice test. So this is where you need to find the sum. So it just means we're going to put positives and negatives together. So we got negatives here and negatives here, and there's addition in the middle, so we're good. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So that's our first integer, negative 12, and then we have 1, 2, 3. There's negative 3, so there's no opposites. No opposites. These are all the same. So these are all the same. So all we do is add how many negatives we have. So 12 and 3 is going to be 15. So we're going to end up with negative 15. Okay, so here it says find the sum. And we have our two integers. We have our first integer and our second integer. So we have 8 positives. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then we have 15 negatives. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, so these are opposite signs. So opposites means we're going to have some canceling. So we have opposite signs, so we are going to subtract. Okay, so what that means is we circle our positives and negatives. There's a zero pair, zero pair, zero pair. So we got all this going on, all these zero pairs. So these are all canceled. So negatives and positives are opposites. So they're going to delete each other. And we're going to end up with more negatives than we do have positives. So we count them up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we have 7 more negatives than we do positives. Okay, so it says find the difference. So if we're finding a difference, we have 9 and then we have 18. But there's subtraction in the middle. So because it says subtraction, we need to change it. Keep, change, change. So we're going to add a line and then change the sign. Keep the first integer the same. So if we subtract 18, that's the same as we're getting more negative. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So there's 9 positives and there's 18 negatives. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So there's 18 negatives. Now because we have opposites, so these are different signs. You have positives and you have negatives. Opposites mean you subtract. Okay, zero pair, zero pair, zero pair. So all of these are going to make 0 pairs. So if we did just a quick expression here, we could do negative 18 and then positive 9. And because these two signs, because these are opposites, we are going to subtract. Because these are opposites, we're going to subtract these two numbers. And you have more negatives, so your answer is negative. So that would work as well. So if you go to number 4, you need to find the difference. Now you can model out 10 minus negative 25, but if you go positive 10 for your first integer, and then you take away negatives, if you take away negatives, you're going to become more positive. You're becoming less negative. So that's the same as keep, change, change. So we're going to keep the first integer, and then we're going to add the opposite. So what this is really saying is 10 plus 25, which equals 35. Okay, number 5 says find the difference. So you got your first integer that never changes for expressions. You're going to keep the first number the same, but now you're taking away 7 negatives. You're taking away 7 negatives, so you're going to keep the first integer, change, change. So you're going to change this to addition, but because you change this, you have to change whatever sign is over here. So now what it's saying is you have 13 negatives and 7 positives. 13 negatives and 7 positives. Okay, so here's our two integers. Now, because these two signs are opposites, negatives and positives, that means you're going to subtract these two numbers. So 13 minus 7 is going to give us 6, and you have more negatives, so your answer is negative 6. Okay, so now Rachel, use the number line below to model the addition of integers. Which sentence matches the pictorial model? So we did something in class. So we're starting at 0, and then we're just going to identify what direction we're going. So the arrow is going left, so we're going negative. So then you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 negatives. So our first integer is negative 5. And then it goes up, and then we turn around and go in the other direction, and we go 1, 2, positive 2. So we have negative 5 and we have positive 2, and then we go down here to where the answer is. So if you go negative 5 and then positive 2, you're going to end up at negative 3. Okay, so negative 5, positive 2. Okay, so let's see, we have negative 5 and then positive 2, not negative. Okay, and then the end result is not 3 and it's not 2. So it looks like, here we go, negative 5, positive 2. So everything matches up. Okay, so there was some confusion on this model, but the model still matches up with what we have been doing in class. So basically this is saying negative 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These are negatives, and then these are positives. So we just take those and we're going to cancel 0 pairs. So we cross out one negative, cross out one positive. Cross out one negative, cross out one positive. So now you're checking to see which one is true or accurate. So what's left over? We have negative 4 is equal to negative 2. And that is not true. So we're going to put a line through the equal sign saying that this equation or this model does not match up. So if we go to B, 1 negative, 1 positive, 1 negative, 1 positive. So we have negative 4 and we have negative 4. So that looks to be true here. So we can just check the other ones real quick to make sure we're good. 1 and 1, 1 and 1. Okay, so here's positive 2 and here's positive 4. So that is not equal. Then we get into now this is positive 2, these are negative 2. So that is not true. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing here, starting at 0, using the strategy that we learned in class. So we're going to the left. Left is negative, right is positive. So we're going to go negative 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we want negative 7. And after we want negative 7, then we go up here and then turn around. And then we go in the positive direction. We go positive 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, positive 10. Okay, and so first we go negative 7, then we go positive 10, and this is where we end up at, positive 3. So down, 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 those are all minus, up, 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 down. We check all these, and then down. So he went down 7 floors and he went up 10 floors. So that looks to be true. -7, +10. Okay, so he didn't go up 3 floors. That's not true. He didn't go up 3 floors. He went up, he's on the 3rd floor, but he didn't go up 3. And this says down 10. That's backwards. Okay. Okay, all right, just using the models, we're going to check and see what we have here. So we have positives 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there's +7, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have +7 and -5. Okay, so you can look at your answers down below. So this one, these are backwards, and these are backwards. So now do your 0 pairs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Positive, negative, those cancel, and you're left with 2 positives over here. So this says -2, that says +2. That would be incorrect. So make sure put these in order from least to greatest. So least just means your most negative number going to your most positive number, least to greatest. So the most negative number is actually going to be -24, -7, 8. Oh, now we need to count up. All right, so negatives are counting down to get to 0, and then you start counting up. 2, 6, and 8. So the smallest number, the least value, is going to be -24, and then 8 is going to be your greatest number right here. So these are backwards. That one jumps all the way around, and that one does not work either. Okay. Okay, so this one, you didn't even really need the fraction here. Some kids saw the fraction. So let's first thing, when we create our graph here, the right side is positive for x, and the left side is negative. Then the graph going up is positive for y, and negative going down. So starting from the origin, you need a number that is negative, negative. So if you're going to go negative, negative, you're going to be somewhere in this region over here. So it's actually -3 and -1/2. So we go back 3 and then down. So there's only one in that region that would be correct. Okay, and then we had to remember this from our lesson: north, south, east, west. So it went north and then west. So if we start at the origin, if we go north and west, we are going to be in this section over here. So this is Q1, Q2, Q3, and Q4. Okay, so that's going to be quadrant 2.